Hello, I wanted to get on here to talk about commonplace notebooks, pocket notebooks, what I use them for, what they can be used for, different ideas of what I've heard that other people use them for, and just to help because some people may not know. They have all these pocket notebooks and piles and stacks of them, may not know what to do with them. So I was going to share with you how I use mine. So first of all, this is not sponsored whatsoever, but this holder is from Happy Hollow Farms, and the links for this will be in the description below. So I absolutely love it, and I carry several of my pocket notebooks. Not this one, this is just one I'll be talking about soon. But most of my pocket notebooks in here, and they hold field notes, everything. So it's a really good little zippered catch-all notebook holder. Okay, so first of all, I have, as you can see, I have all sorts of brands of pocket notebooks. I don't have my field notes here, but I do have several different sizes. Most of them about 3 by 5, something like that. So I'm going with my little notes here of how I use them and how to use a pocket notebook. Commonplace book, basically jot down everything, different ideas that you have, ideas from other people, things like that. Kind of a catch-all is what commonplace is in a nutshell. Okay, so the first thing is collecting your thoughts. So from time to time, I will go through a day and I'll think, oh, I'm going to jot this down because I want to talk to my husband about it later. I want to talk to my friend about this later, or my daughter or son or whatever. And I'll jot these notes down. So it's just, everybody says, well, why not use your phone? Well, for one thing, when I get on my phone, I get notifications. And then it's like going down a rabbit hole. I'm sitting here going, oh, I got a Facebook notification. And then I veer off of what I'm intentionally going to the notebook to begin with. And then I've got to find the app where you do your notes and type all that in. And I'm getting notifications or text messages. And I'm trying to get rid of the social media and the just scrolling all the time, because I waste so many hours doing that, just scrolling. I'll go to YouTube for information, but other than that, I'm just, I want to start going back to just analoging. So first thing I use is collecting my thoughts, collecting other people's thoughts. People give me ideas, like in the comment section. And if you have another idea for these, please put them in the comment section, because people read those comments and it gives them ideas too. So I will write those down. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. Doodle in it. I love to doodle. Right now I'm reading a book. Well, I just finished the book of the little shop of found things, and I drew everything that I had pictured in my mind. And I love doing that because I can go back and see, for all my reader friends, I can go back and visualize what that book was about. And, oh yeah, that's what that was about, or whatever. Here's another one. Just something fun, just to draw or doodle. I do a lot of my planning, and if you don't doodle, that's okay too. Collect random thoughts. I just like my notebooks, my thoughts are random. They're all over the place. I have like, well, for instance, here we go. Random thoughts. So video ideas. Where is it? I don't know where my video ideas are. Oh, video ideas. So see, I have a recipe I came across, random thoughts, books that I want to read, what I want to, video ideas, doing as I get ideas of, oh, I would love to see a video on this. So why don't I make one? Because maybe somebody else wants a video idea on it. So I hope I'm making sense. So that's another thing you can do. And to keep lists, as you can see, I started a grocery list, and I need to add to that, by the way. What was it that I needed to add? I have that and that. I can't remember. See, if I would have written it down right away, it would have been fine. And everyone says, well, keep it on your phone. Well, I'm not the only one that goes grocery shopping. My husband sometimes will like to go after work, and I just send him a picture of this list, and it's easier to keep a budget plan. That's what this one's for. I love writing as I get money from my things. I like to write that down. The bills and stuff, I'll write all that down, and then I'd keep track of how much we eat out, miscellaneous, groceries, gas, car maintenance, things like that for every pay period, so I know what's going out. So I love using this as a budget plan. Absolutely love that idea, and it's just easier. And you can't do all of this on the phone. You can, but it's going to take a lot. It's going to take storage space. It's going to take space on your home screen. I mean, to me, it's just easier to flip through a book. So that's what I found. Record keeping or progress. So keep a record of what you're doing on what date, and then your progress, or if you're degressing or whatever. It just kind of gives you kind of an idea. Or if you're into weightlifting or weight loss or whatever, you can keep all that, keep it down, and get it basically to a science of what you're doing. So I love record keeping on this. And what was the other one? Record keeping. Oh, and journaling. I love to journal. I'll write down the day, and what I did. And so that way I can go back and see what I did. So like, for instance, I will write the dates down, the year and the dates, or August through mid-October, because I started this in the second half of October. So I'll make a list, and that way I can know what I did that part of the year. So next year I can say, what did I do in August? And I can go back and look and see exactly what I did, or if you're scared to start one. So you get this brand new notebook. Beautiful. Friend gave me this. Absolutely love it. I was so scared to start in it because it has tiny graph, which is my most favorite, and it's so hard for me to find this real tiny graph. I have notebooks that have regular graphs, so you can see a difference. Regular graph, I write real tiny. I like to write tiny. I'm very nearsighted, so I don't know. I've always loved to write tiny. So this is just like a dream. So I was afraid to start in it, but what I did is I went in here and I numbered my pages, and that's good because later on, and I'll tell you where I'm going with this in just a second. So if you're afraid to start in it, start with just a blank page. That way it still looks new to you. Does that make sense? That's how my mind works. So I'll have a blank page and I can open it up and it still looks new. So it doesn't look, I don't have that fear of my first page being ugly, because I can just open it and say, oh yeah. Well, another thing, since I have this blank page and I've already gotten into this and, burned it in pretty much, now I can go back, and I should have done that on this notebook. Okay, I still can here, but write an index. So now I have plenty of space to write an index, or I have plenty of space to put the medications I take, the allergies I have, in case somebody finds this notebook. And I'm in a wreck or something like that. I have this blank page. So now I can go, and that's another reason I like to number these little notebooks, because now I can say, okay, the book that I read in the beginning of October was this book, and you can find that on page this and this and this. Or let's see, what else do I have here? My thoughts on when I fed my sourdough starter is on this page, and kind of keep track of that. When did we go to my friend's house where I drew this? We had a fun party that day. What day was that on? Well, that's found on page 5. It was on 10/12. What we did that day, and write that down. So that is another wonderful, easy way to keep your ideas fresh and things like that. So if you're scared to start one, keep that first page blank. What about the reading you've completed? Again, I go back. The Little Shop of Found Things. I finished this. I wanted to remember that the main character's name was Xanthe, Xanthe. I don't know why I love that name so much, but I do. And this is how they pronounce it, Xanthe. I just wanted to jot that down. It's basically a book about a chatelaine. And I'm like, what is a chatelaine? So I looked it up and Googled it, and this is what they wore. It's basically... women wore these on their skirts, and it had like a little pill box, a little incense or perfume keeper, a pen, scissors, a little needle box, things like that, and just all this real pretty filigree. And of course, don't judge my drawing, but that's what it's about. And she tries to save this girl, you know, that is in this jail. And it's in the 1600s, so I wrote, you know, kind of what that looked like, what was in my mind. And so if I ever go back to read that book, I'll remember what it's about. So anyway, that's what I did. So reading you've completed, and I love to read. And then now how to finish a notebook. You may wonder how to finish a notebook, to keep it or not to keep it. That is going to be in another video, and I will try to work on that sometime this week if at all possible. So anyway, these are my thoughts on how I use my notebook, and this is a collection of my 2-year-old granddaughter's gorgeous artwork, and they're gorgeous to me. I love it. So I keep everything in these little things. This is swatches from Pen Colors, where I just got pens. Write my journal, and I love to do art. Day 1, breakfast. Day 2, you know, so draw my breakfast. Day 2, outfit of the day, the patterns on it. Day 3, a book I'm reading, so draw that. Day 4, a pet if you have one. And so stuff like that. It's like I said, it's just random stuff. Somebody told me to do a cake mix, get a regular box of cake mix, like a chocolate cake mix, and put 12 ounces of Diet Pepsi, Diet Coke, Diet Dr. Pepper, whatever. That's all you need. You don't need the eggs and oil and all that other stuff that adds calories. And they said it's the fluffiest, it's the best cake. Vanilla cake, you would use like a Fanta, and use a light whipped cream for icing. So I didn't want to get out my phone and sit there and type as they were talking, because it looks like I'm texting someone and not listening to what they're saying. I don't know what it is about a phone, but when somebody's on their phone, it looks so rude to me. But if I take this out and I go, oh, okay, so you take a cake mix and what now? And then I'll sit there and do that, and they know I'm not texting somebody. I'm not talking to somebody else, obviously. If I'm writing this down, I don't have to say anything. I can just sit there as they're talking and write this down. They know automatically I'm writing what they're saying, and it gives them it makes them feel like they're doing something, like their knowledge is valuable to you. And so I love this idea. I have been so much happier getting my thoughts down. And again, I will show you where I file these little things later, or what I do with them. Do you keep them? Do you give them away? Do you throw them away? What do you do? So, and that's like an individual thing, preference, but we'll talk more about that later in another video. So I'm going to end this, and so you're not on here forever. And if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. I love meeting new people, meeting new friends. Give this a thumbs up if you like videos like this. I will continue to do them. I have so many ideas that I want to share with y'all that have really helped me in my journal journey, my analoging journey. So y'all take care, and I will see you in the next video.